Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I'm your host, Famfare.
Kevin's here as well.
And I'm Mario.
Right now, we are getting right back into the Pokemon starter brackets.
Yes.
I read a meme about bracket nights, and it consumed me, and I immediately decided that's what we're doing. So, at the end of round one, half of them are done. Let's see where the other half goes. All right, first matchup of round one. Cyndaquil and round two. First matchup of round two, Cyndaquil and Snivy.
Cyndaquil, again.
Cyndaquil is obviously my choice as well. Mario?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's no shot, bro. No
I don't
shot.
remember Snivy. We just
The smug snake, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us immediately into the next one, which is Piplup and Ralts. Piplup is the little penguin gentleman boy, and Ralts is the psychic fairy that turns into either a special attacker, female-coded sort of Pokemon, or if it's male and you use a Dawnstone, it becomes psychic fighting. It's a physical attacker.
I'm going to have to go with Ralts for all the fanboys and girls out there, man.
I did like the penguin, but I don't really know much about either of them. But I'll do the same reason I gave last time, more versatility, so why not?
Yep. All right, Ralts is the winner of that one. Now, me personally, I vote Piplup simply because in Gen 4, he's pretty much the starter I always get. I name him Gent or some other, like Tux, or like some sort of pun on him being like a little waiter guy. He's all fancy. And he's a pretty decent special attacker, so I keep him on. And then we cry about how Gen 4 doesn't have any fucking fire types.
Yeah.
All right. Next matchup is Froakie and Totodile.
Totodile.
Yeah.
1,000 times
My
Totodile.
boy.
Yeah. No contest.
Alligator, my boy.
Dude, so the hardest... I feel like the hardest rounds are going to be first and third.
It's
a lot of these are pretty fucking obvious.
These ones seem obvious right now, but that's leading up to when we're actually gonna.
Yeah, true. Eevee's gonna be hard each time.
Yeah.
Man.
Next up, we have Poplio and Riolu.
Riolu, easy.
Yep.
No contest, man.
Karate Anubis boy versus the Opera Clown.
This one who becomes a Karate?
Yeah.
Okay, Smash.
yeah, 1,000 times Smash, bro.
All right. Next, we have Togepi and Mudkip.
What?
I don't want to smash Lucario.
Pokemon. Yeah, he
I was like, what do you mean the game? I just lost? Oh, apparently,
no,
yes.
he means Super Smash Brothers, of course. No one would.
No, if anyone's a Pokefucker, it's me, but a lady never tells.
All right. Next up, we have Togepi and Mudkip. Mudkip, the progenitor of Pokemon memes, and Togepi, probably one of the most useful Pokemon on this list, and everyone's first flavor of Gen 2 because it was put into the Pokemon anime well before Gen 2 even existed.
No, I was gonna say in the last episode, I do not like the third evolution of Togepi. I think it looks fucking stupid.
Togekiss?
Is that the one that's flying around?
The bird that looks like a stealth bomber?
Yeah, what's the one that's like a long boy? The second one.
Oh, Togetic.
Togetic. I like Togetic a lot. And this is another example of that's where you went with this?
Yeah.
I despise Togekiss. I think that's one of the stupidest fucking designs, or design choices. Not necessarily the design. It's a fine Pokemon, but you have cute little egg guy, you have an actual Digimon, and then you turn it into whatever the fuck that, I don't know.
I will say, definitely, Togetic looks more like what Togepi is supposed to evolve.
That's what I mean. Clearly they handed it off to a different designer, and they had a completely different philosophy than the first guy.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. Anyway.
Mudkip. It's probably my favorite starter in third gen, so
yeah.
I'm going to go with him.
Mudkip? All right. Tony, what's yours?
Yeah, Mudkip.
Mudkip? All right.
Sorry, I interrupted.
I heard you guys liked them, so Mudkip wins.
Yeah.
That's a classic meme showing my age.
Yeah, you're old as fuck right now. I'm 33. I'll be dead soon.
Next up, we have Charmander and Eevee. The motherfucking... The mascot or Eevee who can turn into everybody.
I pick Eevee because I love all the colors. They're like a rainbow Pokemon, and but I know I'm gonna lose.
So there is only one evolution that I haven't used, and I'm actually playing a ROM hack right now that I am using it in.
What is it?
Glaceon. I've never used the ice type evolution for Eevee. I've used Sylveon probably the most now. Previously, it's, here and there I'd use some of them, but like Eevee was never one that I always like got one of his in my teams. I like Leafy. Of the evolutions, like, Leafeon and Sylveon are probably my favorite. Sylveon is the most busted. Leafeon was my boy in the one game that I used him in. And he was busted. He actually...
Wait, so which one did you not use?
I never used the ice type, Glaceon.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. That's one of the waifu ones, too.
I'm going to go with...
Yeah, they got a cute design.
Charmander.
Charmander?
That's what young Mario would have picked. That's the Pokemon he would have wanted over Eevee.
Oh, man, that's an excellent axis to look at this from.
What, Boy Mario versus Adult Mario?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about Boy Tony. Boy, no, I can't do that. Because Boy Tony was very insecure about who he
Boy
actually
Tony was never honest with what he liked.
I went
so
out of my way to pick big, strong stuff because that's what was expected of me.
Yeah.
Like, that's which is stupid. No one said that.
yeah.
I said it to myself because I decided that's how it goes.
Any of you listening at home, like the things you like. That's what makes
Please.
you you.
Yes,
And
please.
frankly, the people who are like, it's dumb or something to like something, they'll get over it, actually. Even if they're
Yeah.
your friends and you think, like,
Yeah.
oh, they'll pick on me about it, it'll, at worst, become like of course you would pick that one. And then, like, now they know what you like. Of course it feels weird to be, like, singled out, like, oh, they know that I like that. But also... think about it, like, from their perspective, they know the thing you like, they associate that with you, and I don't know if you've heard, they're your friends, they fucking like you.
And I usually hate this phrase, but it unironically builds character to like things that other people don't approve of. Not in, like, a contradictory way, but in more of, like, a... like
In a literal way, where
Yeah.
it makes you more of yourself.
Like, I was very insecure about a lot of things growing until my, 24, basically. I did not admit I liked cute shit or pink shit, or I just was not allowed to do that. It was not allowed.
Yeah.
And then one day I just decided, why do I think this? And then I just stopped giving a shit what other people thought about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was much happier for a long time. So, yeah, definitely love the things you like, man. Don't. Yeah. So, I can't tell you what Boy Tony likes. I don't remember how he thinks.
Yeah.
Barely.
The only time that's not applicable is if your friend tells you, I think I like stealing.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
you tell them...
Okay,
Yeah,
obviously...
okay, don't be a fuckboy, obviously.
The difference between liking a thing and, like, having criminal impulses, as sexy as stealing is, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the things that will get you in actual real-world... I mean, there are people out there who are like, you know what I really like?
You know what's bad? Mario, you're an excellent member of the Triumvirate, because this is the Degenerate Podcast, so there's totally some guy listening like, you know, I really do like stealing.
I gotta put it out.
Oh, they said I shouldn't, though.
Gotta put it out there.
Unironically enabling people,
If
man.
your friends are talking about doing crimes, discourage that.
Yeah, we're talking more about which Pokemon you like, and, like, whether or not it's cool for you to buy that pink shirt. Pink's an excellent color, you can get it. But also, if you don't like pink, fucking don't get it. Do the things that you like within the confines of what society will allow, because otherwise things get real fucked up real quick and we end up Mad Max wordburgering and, you know, having crazy Australian men steal little girls and trade them for riches.
That was such a good fucking movie. Anyway,
Furiosa was spectacular.
Back
Have you
to the
seen
bracket.
it?
Back to the bracket. We're on a tangent.
We'll get over to there later.
Yeah.
All right, back to the bracket.
Tiebreaker.
Charmander and Eevee. Huh?
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's on you. It's on. That's why you're procrastinating.
Yeah, it is.
ADHD
I have to go
response.
Charmander.
Yeah, I knew it.
I have to.
I knew what I was. I'll. You know, I don't.
Eevee's a solid
back up with
choice,
the
and
noise.
frankly,
Yeah.
I think it deserves a higher up place in this
principle, yeah,
bracket.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Going against
when
the
you get in the
champion.
ring with Tyson, you're gonna get knocked out.
It's like if Todoroki and Bakugo had like one of the first matchups, and it's
Yeah,
like, well, what the fuck?
that wouldn't be satisfying.
No, they're gonna cream each other instead of creaming everybody else.
Yeah.
That's stupid. What a bad anime.
In terms of writing an anime, this would be terrible because
Yeah.
we would have just wiped out two of the big contenders. All right,
You
next.
know what? You should have made the bracket better.
I'm
joking.
No, I hit randomize. I should have.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah. I typed in all the Pokemon
I
and
guess
I hit
that's what it would actually be.
I hit randomize, and
That's what's fair.
if I was actually curating. By the way, I came tonight saying I prepared content for the podcast. I'm such a helpful boy. I barely prepared content.
but hey,
is
better
now
than
much
nothing.
more obvious.
I love it.
All right, next matchup is Quaxley and Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
I don't care about the duck.
Poor
I
duck
eat
boy.
ducks. I eat ducks.
First time I've ever heard of it, so sorry.
Yeah, get
You
fucked.
ain't
I
gonna-
mean, the little peacock thing was pretty, but it's not. I mean,
It's not Pikachu.
It's not Pikachu, and like, yeah, there's 3 evolutions, but I also fucking love Raichu.
Yeah.
I also love.
Do you like the other Raichu?
What? There's another Raichu?
Oh man, let
He's
me
gonna
pull this
it
up.
He's gonna pull it up.
The tropical one.
Yeah.
I like Raichu specifically because of how it works. Where like, okay, you have Pikachu and it learns moves, it levels up. Oh, you have all the moves you want. Now make him buff.
So
I like that system.
in Sun and Moon, they have a bunch. This is where they started giving us regional variants.
Yeah, like the Ice Vulpix.
Yeah.
And the Ice Shark. Because yeah.
In Sun and Moon, Pikachu, according to them, because everybody loves Pikachus and they keep feeding it like their local pancake dish, just sweet treats all the time, its brain was able to like grow excessively and it became a psychic type.
Oh, what the fuck?
A psychic electric Raichu that surfs around flying on its own tail.
Oh,
And it's a
yeah.
superior Raichu design to the original Raichu design, in my opinion. He's 1,000 times cuter.
Look at him go!
Look at him go, and this is him eating
with
his
feet are
pancakes.
inverted.
Look at his pancakes.
He's shaped like a pancake.
He is pancakes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at
He did a
him.
great job.
Look at him go.
Look at him go, man.
Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, so Pikachu.
Yeah, he wins. Yeah,
yeah.
easy.
All
no
right.
Contest. No contest.
Last matchup of round 2.
Let's hear it.
Fennekin and Bulbasaur.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm picking Fennekin. Sorry.
Which one's?
The Coomer aesthetic is
You want me
strong.
to bring it up again?
Is that the wizard one?
Fennekin is the one that evolves into the wizard.
I do like Bulbasaur.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever used Fennekin.
I haven't because I didn't play that edition.
Whenever I play that generation, I always use the water and grass starters because the grass starter at the time I picked because our friend Ricky was also playing, and we wanted to pick different starters, and I don't remember who he picked, but it was him and one other person who was playing with us, and 2 other people. They picked the other 2, so I picked the grass one, and I like him anyway. He's cute, but yeah, I've never used Fennekin. I don't think.
What generation was they?
5th.
5th. What? Black and white?
Yeah.
Huh. What are the other 2 starters?
Oshawott and no.
The Nut?
No. Yes, the nut.
Yeah.
So not Oshawott. Oshawott is black and white. I got mixed up. Fennekin is from the next one.
Oh.
Fennekin is from Gen 6, which is the frog and the chestnut.
Okay, but what games are those?
Those were X and Y.
That's why I'm like, but they're not from Sun or Moon. I forgot about X and Y.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been out of Pokemon.
X and
for
Y
such a
is the
long
one that
time.
introduced Mega Evolution, so it holds a special place for me.
And then that also switched to 3D?
Yes.
That's a big leap. I remember...
Or I'm getting all of this wrong, and I'm going to Google it, because now I feel very unsure.
Yeah, we better check before we get blown up with the comments. You're
Well,
supposed to be a wizard, bro.
I know.
This is supposed to be your thing, bro.
Yeah, speaking of wizard loyalty, I'm going to go with the wizard fox.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Gen 6. I got it wrong at first, but right in the end.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
Wizard Fox or Bulbasaur, Tony?
A Wizard Fox. 1,000 times Wizard Fox.
All right, Wizard Fox it is.
Wizard Podcast. What are you talking about?
Frankly, I would have picked Bulbasaur, but now realizing that I've never used Fennekin, and I do like Fennekin and its evolutions, in spite of what the internet does. Yeah.
Or because of it on my end.
Oh my god.
It's bad, bro.
All right, we're entering round 3. This is the big boys now. Cyndaquil and Ralts. Cyndaquil has my vote already. So chew on it for a second, because I'm going to expound now. keep in mind, Ralts evolves into Gallade and Gardevoir. They get pretty good coverage, both of them. Gallade even learns Leaf Blade, which is a grass-type attack that they kind of don't have access to generally. I think maybe they can get Energy Ball through breeding, but that's still special attack. That doesn't do any good if you got Gallade on your team. I think he also learned Sacred Sword, which is a fighting-type attack that they added in Gen 5.
Sick.
I think it was a Legendary's signature attack, but I think he can use it following that generation. He's pretty good. On the other hand, we have Cyndaquil, who evolves into Typhlosion, who unfortunately are the greatest of us all.
Yeah.
Cyndaquil do be the boy.
I'm picking Cyndaquil, man. Sorry.
Yeah. I was going to use the same reasoning. Plus, I have no experience with Ralts, but I have used Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
I think Cyndaquil gets bonus points because he's from Gen 2.
Gen 2 is probably one of... So I have had this thought. Gen 2 and its remake in Gen 4 are the most Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
they're a sequel that does what sequels need to do. A sequel needs to iterate and expound on the DNA that makes something something. So a thing that has this character always does this thing, that means in the sequel they have to do it even harder. And Pokemon fucking does it. They added more Pokemon for you to catch. They added another region, and then you can go back to the old region because we're doing that plus.
Yeah.
It's Team Rocket is the bad guys again, but you get to see this is the next generation. You get to see the consequences of the old thing. And then at the end of the fucking game, you get to go and fight Red, the hero of the first game that was you also.
Hype was real.
The hype is always there for me for the Gen 2.
And because he's the starter of Gen 2, he will always have be on a pedestal, man.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of the other starters. I dislike almost every fire starter besides Cyndaquil. I never picked the fire starters. I've never actually picked a fire starter besides Cyndaquil. And that, I only did it once because I usually always get Totodile.
Yeah.
I'm usually a water boy.
Totodile's a good boy. Speaking of, next matchup in this round is Totodile and Riolu. So Feraligatr and Lucario.
For Alligator.
Yeah, we're doing Feraligatr. Sorry.
Feraligatr.
I mean, smash, but no.
This is one time I'll break that rule.
The game.
I love Feraligatr. He was my favorite. I actually,
yeah.
I was weird. I only went up to Gen 3, but I did a thing where I always did 3 different playthroughs and would pick different
each
starter Pokemon.
I would also do many different playthroughs. I did all of the challenges, including, obviously, Nuzlocke is the famous one. But there were other challenges, like mono-type challenges, making sure that you never got your level any higher than, the lowest gym that the gym leader had. I did all those challenges for so many different games, and now I'm playing for the fun of the game again. And that gives us Totodile, one of the all-time greats of the empty head bitey boys.
Yeah, not a single.
Potentially the OG.
And he just makes duck noises in the show.
Yeah.
He's
excitable and quacky, and he bites.
Yeah, I said quack, didn't I? Yeah, he quacks. Yeah.
I thought you said quack.
Well, whatever. Only the mic.
We're changing it. We're editing it so you guys will never know. All right. That brings us to the next matchup. Mudkip and Charmander.
Charmander.
Yeah, so...
If he already beat the other ones, he has to beat Mudkip. That's what I think.
Because...
He's knocked out a lot of people.
Mudkip was my favorite of Gen 3, but... Yeah, you can't,
It's Charizard,
It's Charizard. Yeah.
It's like asking if Michael Jackson is the king of pop.
You also would have picked...
Oh, I picked Charmander.
Yeah, unanimous.
Now, Mudkip is also, that's my choice as well for Gen 3. Right. It gives you your Surfer right away, as well as he learns Muddy Water, which is better than Surf, because not only is it as strong as Surf, it also has a chance on hit to lower the opponent's accuracy, so you get a free sand attack off of that.
That's busted.
Yeah. And, frankly, he was the most friend-shaped of that generation. Torchic felt more like he was cutesy, and then he became cool. Trico was a cool guy who was always cool, whereas Mudkip seemed like he was just stoked to be there and happy to be your guy.
I always pick Mudkip.
He's a good boy. Unfortunately, Charmander is Charmander.
Yeah.
Yeah, no contest.
Yeah. All right. Last of this round. Pikachu and Fennekin.
It's come to this.
Yep, the wizard
My loyalty to Pika's
or the
Lagos,
mascot.
or my loyalty to porn. Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
poor man. This decision you have to
A
make.
Sophie's choice indeed.
Yep.
Oh, man.
No man should have to be torn between his pornography and his likes.
Oh,
You
man.
know, there's wizard loyalty, but I'm gonna go Pikachu.
Don't.
It's
do
not
that.
fair with the Gen 1 OGs, man. It's not.
Yeah.
They do have they take up more real estate in both the real life like marketplace of Pokemon as well as our hearts.
I never played X and Y. Gotta go with Pikachu.
Pikachu it is.
Yeah, sorry, Fox.
Frankly, I was going to pick Pikachu as well, simply because of the Pokemon that like exist in Super Smash Brothers. Pikachu is the only one that I play with any level of like consistency, and I have a lot of fun with it. All right, we are now in the semifinals. All right, and
This is the part of the anime that gets real good.
yeah, this is actually where things start to fucking pop the fuck
See,
off.
this is where Eevee should have fought Charizard.
Yeah.
Or Charmander.
Actually, this. So, first of all, Eevee and Charmander, that was a big one. However,
Oh.
this semifinal might be still pretty damn good.
Oh.
Like, that might not have been the choice to make for the fucking. If this were a story.
Oh, man. Okay.
Semifinal round one is Cyndaquil versus Totodile.
Oh, you're old.
This is a tight one.
Totodile. Empty head, no thoughts. Empty head, no thoughts.
All right, I know what I'm gonna pick. What are you?
I've stated my choice from the beginning. He'd win this if it was up to me. Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
See,
That's his boy.
That's my boy.
well, my favorite
He's a
starter
fire badger.
in-
Karen loves
in
badgers.
Gen 2 was Totodile.
Totodile. Sorry, man.
That's
Sorry,
the
man.
way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, sorry, man.
That's how it happens.
You might be sleeping now.
Now, frankly, Cyndaquil, while he is always my choice, Totodile is always a contender. Especially in the Gen 4 remakes, because they gave him access to a move he didn't have access to originally, because it didn't exist, Ice Fang. They made versions of the elemental punches, you know, like Fire Punch, Thunder
Yeah,
Punch,
yeah.
but they made them bite moves for the more bestial kind of guys.
I think Flareon got Fire Fang and was actually decent for him.
It was. Unfortunately, it's a
bad
65 power move, and
Ah.
and he needed an equivalent of like Flamethrower, which is like 90, and he didn't have one.
Yeah.
Totodile, spectacular choice. Sorry, Cyndaquil.
Yeah,
You're number one in my house.
that's funny that they got matched up.
Yeah. And
Funny how it
now
works.
we have the Titans of Gen 1 clashing.
Oh, man.
Charmander and Pikachu. Last fight of the semifinals.
You know what? I'm going to be contrarian and pick Pikachu. Specifically because Charmander has too much goodwill. He is the poster child. Pikachu is no longer the poster child.
Well, now
Is he or is he not?
he's been Ash's mascot Pokemon
But Ash is
for
gone.
all this time. Ash is gone. I'm gonna Google whether or not Pikachu is still the mascot.
Okay.
Because I don't know who their next, like, if, like, the new guys have, like, a different Mon,
I
or...
thought it was originally supposed to be Charizard, and then they made it Pikachu because it's cuter. But like you said, I think Charizard might still be currently the mascot. I
So,
could be wrong about this.
in terms of, like, story design and everything, the mascot wasn't even supposed to be Pikachu. It was supposed to be Clefairy, and Ash's main Pokemon was supposed to be Poliwhirl. In the manga, where it's red, he had Poliwhirl as his first Pokemon, and then he got a Clefairy, and that was supposed to be the mascot. Unfortunately, then they introduced Pikachu,
And people lost their
and
minds.
people lost their fucking minds.
And they've always been good at marketing. So.
And they were like, oh, that's the one people like? Okay, 110% power into it then. And so Pikachu became the thing. So much that they changed the plans for the anime, because the anime they saw as an inevitability at that point.
Yeah.
The games exploded.
Yeah.
They changed it so that Pikachu would be the mascot.
Interesting. Okay. I
Which-
never heard that.
Yeah, we're not decided. What's your choice?
Yeah, let Mario be the tiebreaker. Let him be the tiebreaker. What do you think? What do you think?
Charmander, man. Like,
Yeah?
All right. Okay. Well, they made a movie called Detective Pikachu, not Detective Charmander. So.
they did.
Oh, man. Dethroned!
And he was voiced by Ryan Reynolds, who...
yeah, he nailed it.
So,
That's
yeah,
one of the only other roles he did, like, that I think he did well.
I'm gonna go Pikachu.
Many people, in fact, like, cite Detective Pikachu as the death of the video game movie Curse. Because that movie was actually, like... Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was gonna be.
It was better than it had any right to be.
I had an epiphany just now.
Hit me with it.
Ryan Reynolds is a decent actor in the same way that Seth Rogen is a decent actor, and that they just play themselves.
Yeah, when you need Ryan Reynolds to be in the movie,
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds
yeah.
is the only choice.
And yeah,
You need a Van Wilder? He's got you. He's
Yeah.
there.
I'll
Yeah.
go on another episode. I'll go into my stance on Ryan Reynolds. I like the man, but yeah. Anyway,
That leads us to the final round.
yeah.
Totodile versus Pikachu.
See.
1,000 times Totodile. 1,000 times. Empty head, no thoughts. Dethrone Pikachu. Cast them down. You know you want to.
All right. Well, I'll tiebreak again if you want me to.
Oh man.
Oh, there's no need for a tiebreaker. I think we're all on Team Totodile.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know
'cause-
why? For me, especially, for Alligator Learns Earthquake. Game over.
Does?
He can, yeah. TM
on
Earthquake.
a water type?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He has the best coverage of the Gen 2 starters. He can basically you give him Crunch, Ice Fang, or Ice Punch, depending on what point of the game you're at that you can do that, or Avalanche or some other ice type move. You give him Surf or whatever water type move you like. Waterfall's the physical equivalent. That's probably the one that I would give him. And then you give him Dragon Dance so that he has increased
Oh my
speed. You give him
God.
Earthquake for one of the other ones, and you can get him so much. It's fucking incredible.
Also, going back to like my gripes about a lot of the other starters, what an impeccable evolution change. What like aesthetically, just he goes from being a little gator guy to just being like an ADHD manic guy.
He
to
goes-
being like a little beefier. You know, he's growing up.
And then
you
he
know?
becomes like punk rock kind of with Croconaw.
Yeah.
He's rebellious, and then he
Yeah.
brings it on home to Big Daddy Godzilla for Alligator.
Yeah, like what a great chain. Meganium, kind of dumb. Typhlosion, excellent, but he didn't make it, so.
Which, yeah. I think largely my love of Totodile comes from, like, pretty much what you were saying about how, like, Gen 2, like, really cemented being a
Yeah.
sequel. And that was, like, he was my guy for, like, when I entered the magical new world that was second generation.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
honestly, of the Gen 2 starters, they fucking nailed every. I even like Chikorita's line. I said that
Yeah.
they nailed them,
Yeah.
and you know why? Because none of them look like, oh, they just did that one again.
That's I was going to comment
None of
on
them.
this. I was actually going to comment on how what makes it an excellent sequel is that you were excited for the new starters as excited as you were for the original ones.
Yeah.
They were not replacements. They were like parallels. And it was that one of the only times they pulled that off for me, where I liked all three of them. Like it was an actual choice
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
it was a Sophie's choice. They're like, I have to leave one of you behind.
And that's your dude going into the new frontier.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Completely unexplored territory. They give you. Was Running Shoes in Gen 2 or Gen 3?
Gen 2? I'm almost certain.
I think.
No, maybe
No,
not.
Gen
that
3.
That was
No, I
three,
played a lot of Soul Silver.
I think.
Played a lot of Soul Silver. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't talk.
I think it was Gen 3.
Couldn't you get, like, different bikes in 2?
No, that
No?
was also
Oh, okay.
3. And frankly, Gen 3 does a really good job of it as well, where now we're in color, we're advanced, so all of the graphics are better. We have these new starters who also don't look like, oh, they're just doing that one again. They have distinct personalities. Spectacular. Pokemon, as a corporation, and as I may not like their choices, but as like an IP, Pokemon spectacular. I love them.
And also, points for Totodile. By picking him, your rival gets the least cool one. At least as far as I'm concerned. Meganium is fine, but they're no fucking Typhlosion, and they're no fucking Feraligatr.
I mean,
Sorry.
in my games, I almost always picked Cyndaquil, other than the ones where I picked Totodile, and the very rare ones where I picked fucking Chikorita because I hadn't done it yet. I mean, frankly, it felt way more. It felt canon for the rival to have the big angry crocodile. But I also want the big angry crocodile, so
I really enjoyed Gen 2 starters. They did a great job.
Spectacular. That's our first bracket we've ever done. We might do other brackets later. If anybody has anything that they'd like to see us do brackets of, leave a comment or write a note, throw it through my window on a brick.
Yeah, we have that coming.
I'll get the message, and I'll get the money to you on Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so I would like to rehash our long-standing gripe with George R. R. Martin.
Oh,
and
God.
let's talk about Dragon Show.
Dragons. So House of the Dragon, the new season just ended. Season 2 just ended, and I enjoyed it. But the people who actually are aware of like the IP and reading the things, they know that season 2 was basically like a paragraph on one page that they adapted into a season of television.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, so like the actual book that House of the Dragon is based off of is like it's a historical telling of the Dance of the Dragons, which is what they call the war that happens in the show.
Yeah.
And it's told from 3 perspectives. There's the High Maester, there is Mushroom, who's like a dwarf like performer, mummer, or something, and then there's one other perspective that I'm not able to summon up into my brain right now. Doesn't matter. There's 3 perspectives, and they're basically telling like a biased version of historical events. So like you're able to sort of suss out the truth between them. However, the real truth of it that George R. R. Martin's intention was you will never really know. That's how history works. You'll never really know.
Yeah.
Well, House of the Dragon, the stated goal of it is this is what actually happened, and those are interpretations of events.
Okay.
That was like how it was pretty much sold as a concept. And then season 1 happens, and they take like a pretty good chunk of that, the start of that story. They did at least in terms of pacing, I felt that they did a decent job with that one.
I liked season 1.
And then season 2 was like a couple of lines, a paragraph or 2, and then they just stretched that into a season.
So they're really going to milk this show, huh?
I think they probably are. However, for my purposes, I'm fine with that. I've not really made mention of this more than 1,000,000 times, but I am a fucking dork-ass nerd for creatures and monsters. You could get me talking about creatures and monsters for hours. My room, when I was a little kid, was fucking plastered with Godzilla and dinosaurs from Jurassic Park.
Let me tell you one of my favorite stories about Kevin. It's one of the earliest stories I've heard about him, and it's probably one of the earliest stories to tell about him. He was watching one of the premieres for one of the Jurassic Park
It was
movies.
for Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World.
Yeah, and it's the scene where the Tyrannosaurus is stomping around. It gets off the boat, and it's stomping around the town. And there's a scene where it's like it goes to a house, and there's a dog barking at it. And a little boy comes out and watches his dog get chomped by the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And what you, the audience, are supposed to do is go, gasp with horror or go, ah! And
as the T-Rex's head rises up and you see the leash attaching the doghouse to its jaws because he ate the dog.
It's supposed to be shocking and terrifying, but what Kevin said
a little tiny, like, 3 to 5 year old Kevin was standing... By the way, my father and grandmother snuck me into this movie that I was not really supposed to see, being a little baby. But I was standing on the chair going, yeah, eat 'em, yeah!
You want to hear another example of this? You want to remember?
Hit me with it.
The first time I showed you StarCraft, I showed you the Brood War opening cinematic.
Oh, yeah.
And to those of you who aren't familiar with Brood War, it's basically there's a human colony being overrun by Zerg, and it's like a test for the UED, the United Earth Directorate, to see what the Zerg actually are. They're not familiar with them, they're from a different sector. And so there's a whole conversation, these guys, yada, 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 and basically they fuck off and leave everyone to die. And so one of the Marines on the ground is in the trenches, and he's like staring up as their salvation leaves. And it's just him and his CO, and his CO has already resigned himself. and the camera pans out to him staring up as the ship goes, and then the Zerglings are pouring in from all sides.
Yeah, swarming
cut to black. And I remember looking at Kevin and being like, "Isn't that fucked up?" And he's like, "Why? The Zerg won."
That was sick. What are you talking about? Yeah.
That he has always been wired like this, ladies and gentlemen.
I watched all the Alien movies, and like people will talk shit about like the later Alien movies about like, oh, why does it do that? And that's not a very good. And I'm like, no, those are my creatures. I love them.
Yeah, that's
even the weird fleshy one.
So it is. There's some overlap there with Big Tony. I feel like. I
Yeah.
think the kaiju movies are back. I don't watch any of them, but I don't know.
I'm a big fan of kaiju movies.
I don't dislike them. It's just not.
They made Godzilla
-1.
-1. They made an actual good movie, which I was shocked about because Godzilla movies are pretty firmly 98% goofy guys in costumes fighting, and then 2% the terrors of war.
You want to know something that aged really well because of Gundam of all things? Mothra.
Yeah.
I used to like it because my brother was super into Godzilla. That was his shit growing up.
I remember we fucking bonded over that.
Yeah, and we're Irish twins, so like I was just like, yeah, like I wasn't too invested. I always liked Mechagodzilla because Gundam, but like
Mechagodzilla also sick as hell.
As an adult who isn't closeted, Mothra is probably one of my favorite characters.
Mothra is spectacular. The problem that I have with Mothra is that like. So when I watch those old movies, like, the best way to describe it, I only recently, like, came to this realization. A lot of people can't read mangas or comics because they don't see any motion on the page.
Yep.
They just read it.
Or how they register motion. That's why people can't watch anime.
They don't, they don't fill in the blanks in their heads with the artist's intention. And, frankly, those old movies, you're supposed to be doing that. Filling what you are seeing with the artist's intention as well as what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And that makes watching all of those old movies, like, gripping. You can actually really get into it, even though it's obviously a dude in a rubber suit. You can get into it if you, like, buy into the intentionality.
Suspension of disbelief.
Exactly. And then they have Mothra, who they just have a paper airplane on a string that they play like trilling noises with.
I love it, dude. The sonic booms, so fucking cool. But yeah, the reason Gundam made me love Mothra, the Cubile is based off of Mothra.
Yep.
It took me. You're the one who pointed that out to me.
Yeah. I think we did it on this podcast.
Probably. That might have happened.
When we were talking about Gunpla earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Cubile good, Mothra good.
Mothra indeed. Ooh, you know what would be sick?
You know, a Mothra Cubile?
A Mothra
oh
Cubile.
My God.
You can get a high grade right now for $20.
All right, okay. So, listeners, I love you. All right? I love you and I want to make you happy. If you want to make me happy, you need to feed me. You need to feed my Gunpla addiction. You need to feed my plastic crack addiction.
Yeah, you do.
I uncovered, what was it called? Newtype.com last night. And I attacked Kevin's life points directly.
Yeah.
It's not good. You can just buy.
My financial planning has
Gunpla
been
you want.
devastated.
And high grades are only like $20. So
Yeah.
it's that uncanny valley of being cheap, but also I don't have money for this.
I got $20.
Who doesn't have $20?
Who doesn't have $20?
That's the little dirty trick you tell
Smash
yourself.
cut to me on the street, my only shelter being my many, many plastic robots.
And it's even worse because I'm a war gamer. I'm used to seeing exorbitantly high prices for a small miniature.
Yeah.
Like Games Workshop is
He's used to paying $20 for something the size of a pack of cards that turns into a dwarf holding a pistol.
Exactly.
And now
$30 actually.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. And now I can get a whole ass mech for $20. I can buy every single Cubile in high grade for $20 each. Why haven't I done that already? Because I don't have any money. I can't do that. So feed my plastic crack addiction. Anyway, moving forward. What were we even talking about? Oh, Dragon Show. Fucking Dragon. What a tangent.
Man.
Yeah, Kevin loves creatures.
We're so fucking good at podcasting and ADHD.
ADHD is a fucking plague. Anyway,
Dragon Show.
Dragon Show, creature good.
Bringing it all the way back.
Creature good.
I'm always going to be on board for Dragon Show simply because I love dragons and seeing, like, this is the only place that you can go to get CGI really cool looking dragons. People don't put money into that. Dragonheart came out 30 years ago.
Yeah, so, you know, it may be disrespectful to not call it by its name, but I call it Dragon Show.
No, fuck them.
I call it Dragon Show.
I think someone has some opinions on this.
I've been waiting.
Oh, he's
to...
He's stewing. I see him. He looks fucking furious. All right, so quick context about me and Game of Thrones. I did not read the books. I should read the books. I originally watched, when it first came out, I watched season 1. And spoilers, if you care at this point, yeah, that's on you, man. When Ed Stark's head gets chopped off, this is one of the times it happened with this, it happened with Attack on Titan, and it happened with another show. We bring it up in the podcast, I forget which one. But I was like, oh, this is just shock porn.
Yeah.
This isn't, it's not that the storytelling is bad, but nothing I actually give a shit about is going on. It's just intrigue and shock porn.
Yeah.
Which is sexy and fun, and also a lot of butts and ass.
And,
so that sells, obviously.
And technically speaking, it fulfills the 3 pillars.
No,
character, plot, relationships.
Yeah. That's
all turned up to 11. Unfortunately, the way that they did it was not Tony related.
Yeah, and I just don't... It's not that I think it's bad. I just understood that, if this is the angle you're playing by, you are inevitably going to fall into the pitfall where you're going to kill a character that you need to keep around way too early and then have to cover your ass. And I remember saying this after the Red Wedding. I was like, I don't want to watch it anymore. Like that scene kind of triggered me. I just wasn't having a good time.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this kind of shock porn, if this is how it's going to keep happening, this show's not going to end well. And I got flack. I got so much flack. I think it was season 5 when that happened. Season 4, season 5 was the Red Wedding.
Red Wedding, I think, was like earlier than that.
Season 3?
It's pretty early in the story.
I don't think it was season 2.
I don't know when it was. I didn't watch the show.
I want to say.
Do you remember what book
3.
it was in? Because that's easy. For the first couple ones, they just did that.
2 or 3.
I think season 3 probably they had the Red Wedding.
Yeah, and so I've only seen up to season 3 because I was like, okay, this is just shock porn. Like this, I mean, it might be interesting to see how it pans out, but I'm no longer invested or care.
Meanwhile, I'm over here being like, oh, the dragons are coming.
Yeah, he's over here waiting. He's over here waiting.
I'll just bide my time.
Yeah, and I just couldn't do it no more. Also, Drogo. I was mad about Drogo.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All the characters I was rooting for were dead, and I didn't care about any of the other ones, so I was like, okay, why am I watching this? I mean, Tyrion is fine. He's fun, but I really didn't give a shit about, like, anybody else. Like, none of them really stuck. The ones that stuck with me, like, died almost, like, instantly.
Unfortunately, especially with Tyrion in the story, they stopped knowing what to do with him when they ran out of source material, because it requires him to be smart, and they're not smart. Frankly, they're not. If they're not, I won't say like they're not smart. They're television. They're like television writers who are working on a massive project. Yeah. Whatever. This is not a measure of their actual intelligence. Whatever kind of smarts they had, they could not translate into Tyrion being smart, and then therefore they just made him say tits and cock a bunch in his fake British accent because Peter Dinklage is, I'm pretty sure he's American, and he's a spectacular man and a really good actor, but like they just had him say tits and cock and be wrong actually. And they felt like that's enough. We can just have Tyrion do that.
It's the same pitfall that people think being a snarky cunt is the same as being charming, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, people will watch the new Ghostbusters movie and think, oh, look at how snarky and quirky they are, when in reality they're all insufferable human beings.
I think you're actually talking about the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, because that's
the one, yeah.
That's the all-female one that didn't do very well because it wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah.
Since then, they've made direct sequels to Ghostbusters.
Wow.
There are 2 of them that have come out.
Huh.
And they have all of the living actors coming back.
Good.
I'm pretty sure, except for...
to salvage the franchise they fucking ruined.
Yeah. And
the only good
Paul Rudd is in it, and he's spectacular. And they have I think it's the grandchildren of Spengler, the extra nerdy guy.
Okay.
And they have Bill Murray in the new one. They were perfectly serviceable movies.
There are only 2 things to come out of the...
also, Stranger Things was in it.
The 2016 Ghostbusters. The bit on South Park, where girls only want semen and jokes. Girls aren't funny, like Carver keeps saying.
Oh, yeah.
The girls are slut, girls aren't funny, like that was one of the bits. Hilarious. And then I was... Wow, it was same year. Legion came out that year.
Yeah.
And Return to Karazhan came out almost immediately. One of the things that made... This is World of Warcraft, sorry, Mario. One of the things... One of the things that made Legion a very successful expansion to me was that Return to Karazhan dropped like a month after launch.
Mm-hmm.
They had the mega dungeon already ready, and we never had a mega dungeon before at all. Like the 5-man raid, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, and you can find Nightbane if you speedrun it. What the fuck
And
are you
Return to
talking about?
Karazhan was a spectacular like mega dungeon too.
And one of the bits with Morose is they make fun of the Ghostbusters chick. Like
Yeah.
they're all the gnomes are Ghostbusters, and they basically also rip on the fucking movie. So yeah,
everyone saw it coming.
Those are the
It's
only two
unfortunate
things.
too because in concept of the female Ghostbusters thing, that's not inherently bad. Unfortunately, it is 100% like it was. They took what was a presumably serviceable idea in the right hands, and then they did a bad job with it. I'm not blaming the actors or the writers or the producers, anyone individually. It just ended up being a big old gross, not good.
I just remember a lot of the characters that were clear, like, oh, isn't she charming and quirky, or just, oh, she's just a bitch. I hate this. It just the humor didn't land for me, man. I don't know.
It kind of suffered from the fact that like they tried to make one character Bill Murray.
That's what I mean.
And
Bill Murray is Bill Murray.
Bill Murray is Bill Murray.
You can't pretend to
Everyone
be Bill
else
Murray.
being Bill Murray is kind of just a weird dick.
Like, I can't even do Bill Murray. Like, I mean, not that I'm
No
an
one can,
actor.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No one can.
That'd be a hilarious reveal. It's like, yeah, his dad's Bill Murray. He's Tony Murray. Yeah.
I don't know why I could think I could be Bill Murray, but it's just, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a man alive who can be Bill Murray. Bill Murray is Bill Murray, so don't try to be something else.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they tried to basically they tried to remake it.
This is the same
filling in
problem.
the same problem. Yeah.
This is the same problem with Tyrion.
Yeah.
This is the exact same problem. Okay, here is a character who is snarky and intelligent and blah, 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 blah. I don't know how to write him. How do I make him that? Okay, well, just do what he does in the books. And then they try to parrot something instead of actually make something. Parroting, imitating is not making, man. It's not.
All right.
I mean, it can't... Imitation is the highest form of flattery, yeah.
Let's cut this off here so that we can get to the meat of this issue,
Yes.
which is Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Tail.
I think this is actually one of the first things I ever ranted to either of you about.
This is actually one of the inceptions of the podcast.
my fury at George R.R. Martin, because I have read Game of Thrones. I haven't watched it. The series is actually A Song of Ice and Fire.
Correct.
That's what it's actually called.
Clear that up right now.
Everyone just calls it Game of Thrones because the first book is A Game of Thrones.
And they named the series
And
that.
yeah, that became, it's honestly a better title, if I'm being 100%. But
you know the lore reasons.
I'm just have been furious because I've been waiting for a book for like 15 years now or something.
Yep.
Like it's been at least like 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And it's fucking incredible.
The entirety of both shows have come out in that time.
Yeah, it doesn't take, like, the books are sprawling and massive, but it doesn't take that long to write a book if you're actually dedicated to doing it.
If you're,
George R.
say,
R.
like a
Martin-
millionaire who doesn't need to work for a living and
Yeah.
can explicitly choose all your projects, including your own magnum opus, that is just guaranteed to succeed, and yet still choose to make weird Netflix shows about haunted spaceships.
and continue to write other things.
Yeah.
The House of the Dragon exists because he wrote a different book.
Yep.
It's like, fuck you. Write the book I want. Like, give me the next one.
Okay,
Like,
so expanding an IP, it's not gonna give him a pass because you're right. Finish the series, then expand it. But what the egregious thing? Elden Ring. You poured your heart and soul into Elden Ring, George R. R. Martin. Why? Like, finish your shit. Finish the candy
Finish
bar.
one candy bar before you open another.
Like,
Blizzard and George R. R. Martin, both of you, listen up.
Like, it's just, that's how diabetes happens. And you're gonna lose a foot. You're gonna lose a foot if you don't finish that fucking candy bar.
We're all going to lose our
And
fucking mind.
the tragic part about it is, I think Rob got me into Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because he had started reading it. That's just the thing we do.
Speaking
Rob
of-
and I read books, and we're just like, hey, you should read this. But
Tommy was trying to get us into Game of Thrones well before.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
you know what he tried to sell me on?
He had all the books before
Yeah,
the HBO show.
people don't realize how old the series
Yeah.
is. Like,
right?
A Game of Thrones came out in
90-something?
98, I think.
Oh, okay. Not 80.
So it's
98, that's
pretty
fine.
fucking old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
which makes it even more infuriating.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
That
like,
a majority of its history was him not continuing the series.
Nearly 30 years later, we still don't have another.
It
like,
took him
all
15 years for anyone to give a shit.
Yeah,
and 15 years longer to not give a shit himself.
Yup, easy money, brother.
It was still successful and renowned for being good.
It was the dark fantasy, adult fantasy of its time.
And I would say it still kind of is, but unfinished.
Yeah.
And because it's genuinely really, really, really good. Those books are fantastic.
The way Tommy tried to sell me on A Song of Ice and Fire was the dire wolves. But then when I learned basically all of them get killed instantly, I was like, okay, well, I once again that's anti-Big Tony. That's Negatony. That's you don't do that. You keep one alive, and you use that as a litmus test to remember the fallen.
Which so what you were saying earlier, I feel like that's a valid take on it, but also I think the way you're supposed to take the death of Ned Stark is that he is the one, he's the good one.
Yeah.
He's the good guy. But when you're playing the Game of Thrones,
being good gets killed.
Yeah,
I get that.
When you can't make those dirty, hard decisions that you sometimes have to do just to keep
live another day.
Your
and
head
that's
on.
why it's poetic that Rob died, because he did the same thing. He's like, I'm gonna marry for love. Oh, you don't understand politics, idiot. Die.
And that's the Rob Stark, the young wolf, never lost a battle.
Yeah,
he was steamrolling basically everybody. But then he tried to
cheat the system,
make a deal.
Even catching the Kingslayer, who was no shit. He was Dynasty Warriors, killing all of the enemies with just being Jaime Lannister.
Until they got tired, then they had to fuck off.
Until he got tired enough that they caught his ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, all right, I'll let you take me hostage. And then that wasn't a very good plan, turns out.
R.I.P. right hand.
So it's just it's hard for me to even you said earlier, it's oh, I should read those, but at this point, I don't know if you should.
No, that's so I
you're never gonna get a conclusion, and it's tragic. They're fantastic books. I bet you could actually learn a lot about writing if you did read them, but at the end, is it worth it to experience an amazing thing to then just get cock-blocked?
My inner smug Ojo-sama is laughing with their hand up so hard every time I hear someone being bitter about Game of Thrones, because there's no way I could have actually known. It was just a hunch. It was just I'm divested because I believe this is going to be the case.
Yeah.
But you're all welcome to enjoy it. I'm not going to admonish you. I tapped out season 3, and then by season 8, all I hear is nasty, horrible comments, and I'm just sitting here.
Well, it's because when we started, Rob had read the series, and then I started to go through it, and then the 5th book was just coming out, and so it was sick, next one, it's been a while. Took him 5 years to write this one, it's gonna be real good, and then it was really good.
Yeah.
And then
that's the trap.
Just wow, can't wait for the next one. 5 years go by. It's gotta be
he's
almost
cooking,
done, right?
He's cooking something. He's cooking to something.
Another 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 more years go by, and it's damn, man.
10 years.
I don't know if it's gonna happen.
That's how long it's been.
It's been 15 years.
Yeah, and then it's been
it's been between 10 and 15 years at least.
Where we're at now is years more later, after a decade, and it's it's not happening.
Yeah.
Show's over. They had to finish it because he just didn't do it, and then. Meanwhile, he is publishing other things, and then helps write a video game,
and making a Netflix
really
show. And
thank you at least for that, for helping them with the lore. But apparently, he just wrote a thing and gave it to them, and then they just iterated off of that.
Have I ever told you about the story I read about how Miyazaki makes the D-Souls and all those games lore? So apparently, when he was but a lad, the only fantasy story that he had was Lord of the Rings, which I think it either wasn't translated or it wasn't fully translated, and he had to do a lot of the work of translating it. And the thing is about Lord of the Rings, it has a lot of proper nouns for things that don't translate, and its own made-up languages and references to things. And when you're translating something with as a child with an English to Japanese book, it's insane. It sounds like it's the Bible. Like it doesn't read like Lord of the Rings. And so he was reading this mysterious fantasy book that the world says is like, this is the fantasy book. And it has all these references to things he has no concept of. And he's like, oh man, that must be like another lore thing that I just don't have the pieces for yet. And like he had to like do all of this work about it. And it became its own thing for him. And that's like what inspired him, like how he writes the lore for like Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Elden Ring. And then later he found out that, oh no, he just didn't get a translation. Like Lord of the Rings is just Lord of the Rings. It's not, it's very unlike his thing.
Double esoteric.
Yeah.
But it inspired one of the coolest forms of storytelling. We talked about that on previous episodes. Like, they're doing good work over there, man. But yeah, Martin, you should finish your candy bar before you open up another.
Yeah. But you know what he said, like in interviews?
Let's hear it.
Well, for one, about the whole, like, how we all just know he's not working because he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Is in interviews he's described it as like, the TV shows, like when he basically gave them the rights or whatever, he was just like, it's hard to argue when they back up a dump truck full of money into your driveway, and it's like, wow, man.
Yeah, that's the epitome of sellout, bro.
And then the other thing is like people have asked him, it's like, oh, everyone has said like they're worried that because your health or
you're an old fat guy.
You flicked off the camera. You
like,
flicked off the camera.
You're not going to finish.
You're 100 years old and 500 pounds.
With flicking off the camera, he said, well, I say to those people, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's you, Mario.
And it's,
fuck you,
and then,
Mario.
Yeah, I'm like, no, fuck you, motherfucker. Like, hate you for creating something I really enjoy, and then I'm never going to see how it's actually supposed to end.
So this is the epitome that love and hate are actually two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Because you can only hate something if you're attached to it, and we attach to things that we want to love.
Yeah.
And its hatred is when that thing betrays your expectations of it, and that is what Mario is going through right now, in fact.
Yeah.
I've been through
For 10 years.
It's
Stages of grief.
I switched to being like, oh, this is one of the greatest things ever. I love you people watching the show. I read the books, please. They're so much better.
I love it.
And then, time progressed, and then it switched into bitterness. And that's where I'm at now. It's just like, I still like A Song of Fire and Ice, or Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
But fuck you, George Martin, you piece of shit.
I'm gonna hit you with a hypothetical, and it might be very mean to do. All right, let's say next year he drops the next book.
Cool.
It's here.
You'll never
Listen.
get another one.
He dies the
Yeah.
next day. Will you read the next book?
Probably one day, but it's like, at that point, it's just, even if it came out and he's still alive, it's just like, well, am I going to have to wait another decade plus to get another book, which you probably won't make it through? Like, so should I read this? Is there a point? Like, either way, I'm in the same situation where I'm never going to get a conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question here.
Hit me with it.
What book of A Song of Ice and Fire came out in 2004? What book were they on?
That was the latest one, I would think.
That was probably...
I don't know what I do with my phone, otherwise I'd look it up.
Storm of Swords, or...
Shit, that's not good.
Ezerado was just...
I
think that's the...
I'm cooking to something here. I want to know. I'm cooking to something here.
Song of Ice
I have an observation.
And Fire.
This is going to be a Captain Obvious moment, but whatever, man. I'll take it.
All right. As of 2004, we had Feast for Crows came out in 2005, so right before Feast for Crows.
Okay, and which one is that in the series?
Let's find out. Let's see. The series is A Game of Thrones in 96, Clash of Kings in 98, Storm of Swords in 2000, and then Feast for Crows. So what would be out in 2004 is Storm of Swords, only 3 books.
So, how much screen time have the White Walkers gotten in the story?
At that time, not much.
Virtually none.
Okay.
They were in the prologue.
Oh, because the prologue is you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a zombie,
and then the idea of the North.
That just gets. Yeah, that's over there. We're over here now.
Yeah.
And then we spend a lot of time over here. And it's really only when they start putting people on the wall. Like when John takes the black and goes up there. Like they try to the guys on the wall, like they know what's going on. Like they know shit's like getting fucked, and they try to send somebody back. Like that happens pretty early. Book 1 or 2, I think. It's gotta be 2 because Arya's scrambling around on her own on the streets,
and that's after book 1, yeah.
But they've sent a guy. He had a zombie hand in a jar basically, and it was still moving and shit.
Yeah.
And he was gonna show them like the monsters are out there. Like you gotta like help us. Like, you gotta do something about this. By the time he got there, because of like the humidity, like the heat, because they're in the long summer, it just disintegrated.
Yeah,
and so
like
he had
it
nothing
rotted down.
He just had stories of monsters to tell them. They were just like, fuck off, like. And so he ended up just going back with new recruits, and then he picked up Arya along the way.
And that guy gets killed with Lannisters? Is that guy? No?
Yeah,
in the show,
I forget how he goes out. They end up at like a
They end up in
tower
Harrenhal
or something.
They end up in Harrenhal, and it was Tywin in the show, but it wasn't Tywin in the actual books who was at Harrenhal.
So,
Because they decided to make Arya have like a bunch of scenes with Tywin, and he's like, "Careful, go." They have their character moments that didn't exist in the books, but it was Harrenhal that they end up at.
Gotcha.
Because that's with Yakon Hagar, right?
Yeah.
I think Tywin. He was there or he was coming, and then, oh no, she became his
Ward Stewart.
cup girl.
Yeah.
I thought that was only in the show.
That happened in the book.
Oh, well.
Well, what I was cooking to, which I guess I'm incorrect, I might still be, there might be a sliver of truth to this. It just occurred to me that if a Game of Thrones was written in like 97, George R. R. Martin really coined the idea of like northern zombies, which Warcraft is lousy with them.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of that is something Metzen would do. Or not even just Metzen, like any creative author would do. Oh, this is a book series I like. Let me get inspiration from this for my own work.
Yeah.
So we can actually thank Martin for the Lich King, it sounds like.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that is the case.
I mean,
The same way I think that Thrall is just Metzen's like either NPC or PC orc shaman from fucking D&D. I'm almost convinced that happened. This is based off of nothing but my own ignorance.
I mean, think of it also this way. Until really recently, zombies were a thing that people either associated with voodoo or with like
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, which is a movie about consumerism and like the masses, the public. So it's either about urban zombies or jungle zombies. Ice zombies weren't really in the mix, were they?
Yeah, and I remember.
I mean, unless you're like a D&D nerd, like
yeah,
True.
and that's the thing. I remember
that used to not be cool.
Yeah, I used to get yelled at for wanting to play D&D, man. And going on that, I wasn't a D&D nerd. I had only seen Warcraft, and I remember thinking when I was like in high school still, yeah, one of the fantasy I wanted to make a fantasy story, and I was like, we don't have a lot of fantasy zombie like apocalypses. I would like to write a story about like, maybe like vampires show up and they Castlevania these motherfuckers, but it's like a swords and sorcery instead of like Belmont, platforming. And I thought I was so original and cool. So I was like, oh, only Warcraft really did that. I'm going to make it all and then, no, apparently that's just been a thing for a while, man.
Yeah.
I ain't
Nothing
shit.
new under
I
the
ain't
sun.
Shit. Yeah, I ain't shit. Which is fine.
Now,
Back to Dragon Show.
In terms of writing, this is going to be me on my soapbox again. Whenever you have an idea that you realize like has been done before or even done a lot, you shouldn't abandon it. Because the thing that makes a work special isn't that it hasn't been done before, it's the author that does it. The idea that like, oh, I don't want anyone to steal my ideas is rooted in like a sort of like foolish notion that two people with the same idea reach the same conclusions. Whereas straight up, two people could say like, I'm going to write the same story as you, and then by the act of them being different people who are then writing it, they'll end up wildly different. It's the reason why like we have Harry Potter, sure, but like nobody says like, oh, that's the same as like Percy Jackson, which is a pretty similar story.
So one of my other crowning achievements as a DM, like old personal achievements, comes from Mario, where I myself independently just came up with multiple D&D apocalypses. I thought, oh, this would be a cool concept, and I told Mario, "Oh yeah, that happened in 3.5," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And it happened like multiple
happened
times.
a bunch of times.
It
yeah.
happened several fucking times. Right? I just named a thing I didn't know about, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that exact, basically the exact."
It was the
thing
Simpsons
happened.
did it scene
The
from
Metropolis.
South Park.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know what a tropical was. I just described one, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was. You had a lot of your scenarios was just like I was just pulling out different because 3.5 had the end of the world supplemental book, and it just gave you several different scenarios that involved different world-ending like threats, and then so most of them I was just listing off stuff from that, and then or a lot of the monsters you came up with, like 3.5 had like 5 monster manuals and several different like supplemental like monster books, and so it's like you would describe a thing and I'd be like, oh, that sounds like like you said the Atropal, and I was just like, oh yeah, you can find that in the epic level handbook. Like,
so the one that really fucking tickled me, and I almost got mad about this one was the mage beholders. What are they called? They gouged their own eyes out.
This beholder mage.
Well, yeah, I thought I was so cool with, oh, this beholder wanted to be a wizard so bad, he joined the wizard city, and to prove his loyalty, he gouged out his eye to show that I no longer have an anti-magic cone, I am no longer a threat to you in that regard, but I'll be a threat to you by being a better wizard. And all the other wizards like, oh, challenge accepted, motherfucker. And so there's just this fucking beholder floating around Scryer. Yeah, anyway. I thought I was so cool with my beholder mage. No, that was always a thing, you idiot. No.
Not always.
Yeah, well, yeah, not always, but yeah, I
Just
yeah.
probably most of your life.
Well, because, like, I brought it out in the campaign, and I was like, I've got no idea what this is. And Mario instantly knew what it was, and I felt betrayed.
Yeah, I remember that very clearly because I remember thinking, I didn't have any thought about it until Mario's like, I see what you're doing, and I'm like, oh, that is pretty smart. I just assumed this was a beholder that likes reading and is missing an eye.
Yeah,
because they fight. They're beholders.
Mostly because I had immediately just assumed like, oh, he's been reading those books,
and I have been reading those books, just not that one. And because dude, I really want to be able to DM 3.5, but it's too big range for me right now. Man, I gotta stick to 5th.
It's really convoluted.
There's just
like,
so much I have to like.
Don't even think of it as like you have to be big brained. It's just like you just have to learn like just too much bullshit.
There's so much
gotta take a class.
to reference, and like it's a whole field of study at this point. It is literally a field of study.
If you guys would be interested in Mario teaching a class on how to play 3.5,
yeah, drop a
that's
comment.
The thing. It's like I'm the most experienced probably, but like I don't fully know everything there is to know about 3.5. Like I know how we could play, but it's still like how do you do this? Like, well, we gotta crack open a book for that.
I think it would be a good series of videos if you like just genuinely like have the 3.5 handbook. You explain stuff as it comes to you as you're explaining the handbook, and then every time you have a thought that you want to like do a video about something, you can pull out a monster manual, do a whole video about it.
It's just
people like you, Mario.
It has like so many just weird niche little rules.
Yeah,
like
it does.
so, like charging used to be a thing that had very that has specific
It gave it an
rules.
initial swing, right?
And so it's just like a different like attack. Like you charge, you can move. You're like full movement and attack at the same time. But then like there's an additional rule to charging that like, oh, if you don't have your weapon drawn and you don't have quick draw on a charge, you can draw your weapon as a free action.
Nice. And part of the swing.
And my DM, who had been DMing for like however many fucking years, I just spat that out, and he's like, "That's not a thing." And I was just like, "Yeah, it is.
Right
I
here.
just read it the other day."
That's how it goes.
And then he had to crack
That's
open
how
a
it
book,
goes.
and like he read it real quick, and he's like, "Oh shit, you're right."
No kidding.
I was like, "Yeah."
And as a DM, I love it when my players do that, but I know a lot of people fucking hate that. I'm running my table the way I say it is because I'm God, so I say it works this way. I don't care what the goddamn rulebook says. I know a few people who fucking run tables like that, which is fine. It's their style. DMing in a style is always the right style.
All right, back to Dragon Show.
Yeah.
Well, the point of my rant was that I like A Song of Ice and Fire. But anything other than that, I refuse to support it. I hate it. If you like it, cool, whatever. But fuck that. I'm not gonna watch it. Even if it was like a good show, fuck it. I don't care. I don't want to watch it.
Well, can I tell you, probably one of my favorite things. So my favorite thing, I have a favorite thing from each season now. You mind if I
Go for
bring it on?
Yeah.
All right. This will probably be the last thing we talk about for the night, so it'll... Spoiler alert, everybody. So at the end of season 1, we have one of the... I think his name is Luke?
I don't remember anything.
One of Rhaenyra's sons has to go to Storm's End to try to get an alliance through.
Yeah.
But Aemond is already there, and he rides Vhagar. And Vhagar is so gigantic that like you don't see Vhagar because you assume it's part of the architecture. That's how big this fucking Godzilla of a dragon is.
It really is a flying Godzilla.
And the meeting goes poorly, and Luke tries to fuck off. Aemond, who fucking hates Luke because Luke cut his eyeball out of his damn head, chases him down, and it's clear that his plan is he wants to give Luke a little scare. He's like, he wants to fuck with him. I hate you. You cut out my damn eyeball. And as he's doing that, Vhagar is like a senile Godzilla. So if Vhagar thinks like, oh, we're going to get that guy, it just starts going to get him. And as they like are flying, Luke is in more and more danger, he realizes. And it starts to get like, it's going too far at this point. There was a line, we crossed it. And Luke is fucking fleeing for his life, and he has his dragon like blind Vhagar by shooting a blast of fire in Vhagar's face. Vhagar doesn't take that shit kindly at all.
Correction, he specifically didn't command his dragon to do that. It panicked and did that. Luke literally says, spare me, because he did not order it to do that.
Exactly.
He says, what the fuck are you doing, dragon? Why are you trying to fight Vhagar? You... Pardon my French.
Terrible, terrible, terrible survival skills on that dragon.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vhagar bites that shit completely apart, kills Luke and his dragon. But the thing that I really like about it is, throughout the season, they make it clear the dragons are trained to respond to Old Valyrian. If you talk to them in regular-ass speech, they ignore you. They sometimes ignore High Valyrian, but you typically will see them, like, at least register that you're talking to them. And my favorite part of this is that Aemond at this point has started panicking that he has gone too far, and he starts telling Vhagar, stop, no, we're done here. But he's speaking regular. He's not speaking High Valyrian. Vhagar doesn't give a shit about you speaking regular and eats that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He eats Luke and his dragon and just fucks off. And Aemon's like, oh shit, I guess I murder now.
And it's good writing because he panicked. He clearly panicked, and he was too busy being a Dritz sword boy to remember how to speak High Valyrian in a pinch, and he failed.
He was a kid.
The guy that was supposed to be perfect at everything, basically. Like, I'm going to be the fucking guy to get revenge, and he fucked up really hard.
Yeah. In a way that starts this war.
Yeah, like it's...
This is what made it go from being a family disagreement to a war now.
Going back to, like, you know, A Song of Ice and Fire giving, like, strong character motivations and the character interactions, that's one of the best ones. He'll never be able to save face from that.
Yeah. In fact, he doesn't even try.
Yeah,
Season 2, he starts leaning in like, yeah, I make my fucking Godzilla eat people who piss me off. Don't fuck with me. Even though, actually, you see him, like, in private moments, he's actually kind of like a scared boy, like anyone in that situation would be.
It's a bravado.
Anyway, Season 2, they have this I don't like because it's well written. I like because I think it's very funny. So throughout Season 1, Daemon, who's played by the most English monster man, Matt Smith.
We talked about this, man. He's why I think I'm ugly.
He's got a look to him. Anyway, like the whole season of Season 1, the implication isn't that he intends to work with Rhaenyra, who he marries. The implication is that he actually thinks he deserves the throne. And then Season 2 starts up, and things go a little wrong for his plans because he accidentally has the wrong child murdered. And so he leaves to go sulk in Harrenhal. He flies there in the dead of night in a storm on his big red fucking dragon. and it lands, and he comes in with his fucking dragon-shaped armor and his Valyrian steel sword, and he's just walking through this empty-ass castle until he finally finds, like, everyone's just sort of sitting around, and they're like, oh, hi. And he's like, I'm taking over Harrenhal. It's mine now. And they're like, oh, splendid. All right, well, the bed's down the hall. It's made out of weirwood tree, so that makes it an antique. Please be careful. We'll order eggs for breakfast. And he's like, okay. So we're all in agreement that I'm in charge now. And he starts to walk away, and then he meets this witch, and her name is Alice something. And it's terrible. I really like this character. I can't remember her
Allison?
name. No, Alice.
Oh.
Alice is like a crazy immortal witch woman who, I believe she's some kind of warg, likely a green seer, because of how she, like, has this hive mind style manipulation that she does. Doesn't matter. He meets her. She basically warns him that 3 ghosts will tell him about Christmas past, present, and future, and he tells her to fuck off. She gives him what is clearly LSD, and he then trips and has haunted mansion adventures for like 3 months, where he's like learning the error of his ways. And then when he's finally, like, emotionally, like, vulnerable and shit, and people are telling him, like, you have to betray Rhaenyra, and you have to, like, become king yourself, and Caraxes can totally take Vhagar, man. Your red dragon's super cool, and you have got a big dick. Come on, you can do it.
Hell yeah.
And he's, like, in a super vulnerable position. And then finally, Alice is like, okay, you've graduated from your dreams, which have put you in a very vulnerable position. You're going to come out with me in the middle of the night to the weirwood tree that's out in the courtyard. The implication, the weirwood tree bed that he was sleeping in, is what gave him all these visions, because it's connected to the whole Children of the Forest magic. She takes him out to the weirwood tree, puts his hand on what is clearly the face of George R.R. Martin. It is spilling blood-hued sap that covers his hand, and then he has a vision that is him watching all of the television series HBO's Game of Thrones. So he knows that the prophecy that he heard of ends up in that only if everyone plays their part properly. So he immediately, after seeing Game of Thrones, goes from being like a sort of treacherous style of man to being like, nope, I'm all in. I'm Rhaenyra, I'm your guy. #1 fan. Never had any doubts. There are zombies that are coming, and people need to be fucking ready.
Which I think that's an interesting character motivation, because, like, one thing people don't write well is the difference between, like, how do you make a character that is like ruthless and like ruthless and reckless but still honorable? Well, that's how you do it. What are the actual stakes? Typically, people who are ruthless don't think that far ahead, or reckless rather, don't think that far ahead, and so you write them that way. But when I've just seen exactly what's going to, like, I've seen the apocalypse, I know what happens. All right, well, maybe I switch my priorities.
The apocalypse that is avoided by the slimmest of margins, if we're to believe the writing team of Game of Thrones.
Like, most people want their children and descendants to make it, and so when you understand you being a selfish prick is going to stop that, and you have proof, like, not a matter of, like, oh, it's speculation, oh, you're cheating me, you're lying to me, blah, 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 blah. The paranoid mind can tell you a lot of things.
Yeah.
But when, like, the magic fucking forest man shows you all of Game of Thrones, and it's your job to make sure that happens properly, then, yeah, you get your shit together, man. And with that, we are going to call it a night. Thank you so much for listening. I
think that's everything we have. Got anything else going on, Tony?
No, nothing comes to mind. Just chilling. Being chilling.
Maybe get some Instagram pics from Nova Open, which is upcoming for you.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Anyone who likes miniatures or Warhammer, that's going to be your jam.
Yeah. No, I'm bringing my pretty rats, so definitely take a look at those. They're pink and pretty and nice.
For Nova, you needed to have like a full painted army and like a diorama ready, right?
Yeah, display board for big boy points. Yeah.
Spectacular.
We're working on that on weekends.
Mario, you got anything?
No, my sole mission right now is to defeat Radon in the DLC. Still going. Been about a month now.
Thanks a lot, George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guy.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm not gonna give up. Never.
And if you enjoy the podcast, go ahead and give us a like on social media. You can follow me at the Smug Grape on X. I get Twitter. It's not called X. It's called Twitter. It's called Twitter. You can also follow me at Famfare on YouTube. And we can also do Furious Famfare on Instagram. We also have a Patreon going. You can actually see this episode. Like you said, we can see this episode early. We mentioned last time we were going to see this episode early.
And any future episodes that you want to see early, like whatever's going to be coming out next week, we're always going to try to be a week ahead so that we can have those episodes available early through Patreon. If we can figure out how to do that, I'm very dumb.
Yeah,
that's
same,
all on Tony's
same. Yeah, I'm figuring it out, gents. And lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to Merch Hunter Ricky. He's one of our local boys. He's doing well and he's doing good. You should check out his channel.
Friend of the show. He does mostly stuff about, obviously, merchandise for anime, but he also has a series on YouTube about devil fruits and making up, like, non-canon ones. He does that for fun and profit. And he also will pretty much post every week whenever a new chapter of One Piece drops. I myself am a big fan of One Piece. I don't think Mario's caught up.
No.
And Tony has not even begun, but we'll get him.
In fact, once I start reading One Piece, I'll start looking at his content because it'll be relevant to me, and it'll be nice to be able to, like, it'll be refreshing to be like, oh, that's what he meant, or that's what he talked about.
Yeah.
That's probably what I'm looking forward to the most about watching One Piece is just getting all the goddamn references.
They are making the super high budget remake of the anime.
I'm probably gonna hold out for that, man.
That's gonna be a bit.
It's probably gonna not have any of the stupid ass fillers.
I know I'm gonna watch it.
And it's studio the guys that did
Wit, right?
Yeah,
or Mitt or
Wit. I think they're the guys that did Vinland Saga.
Spectacular.
Don't quote me on that, but anyway, thank you for listening and have a great night.
Good night, everybody.